So we're on High Street, the epicenter of Melton CBD. What is particularly exciting about High Street? The diversity and array of shops, retail shop fronts, cafes, from your charcoal chicken to your fish and chips to your Thai restaurant just behind us. And as we're walking down, it's actually solidifying that vibrant community, that multicultural community that is pretty much present in the LGA of Melton. When it comes to a value-add asset, the equity uplift, there's a series of different complexities when it comes down to the type of purchase. And often you're dictated by skill set, you're dictated by budget of what the client has to spend when it comes to renovation. So in this case, we wanted to keep the cost of works quite minimal, quite entry point, given that it was the first value-add project for the client. I didn't want to put the client in a position where we're putting down walls, where we're needing permits, right, to overwhelm that process. So that's how we really narrowed down the value add brief to the simple projects of adding an additional wall, right, where the cost of quite the low entry cost space to be entering in for a great uplift when it comes to the bedroom, adding an additional bedroom. Yeah, so the project that then we were particularly looking at for the client was looking at a 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom conversion. And particularly what is interesting and important to note with these projects is that we've got to establish that there is a market disparity or market demand for a 4-bedroom house versus a 3-bedroom house, but equally that the price point is equally there to validate us going into these type of projects. So before any deal happens, we go down often what is the rabbit hole of vetting and understanding scope and potential within the property. And that's why we're heading down to this particular pocket of Melton, of why and where we're seeing a good value at the moment with these type of projects. Part of the process before getting into the car, 45 to 50 minutes out into Melton from Melbourne CBD, is really doing the desktop due diligence first to validate and understand at a macroeconomic perspective. Is Melton, as an example, showing all the right metrics for future growth? That's number one. Number two, it's equally then the macroeconomic research has been done. I'm pretty excited. It looks all good on paper, and let's face it, often what looks good on paper might not actually be what we're getting or what we're going to see. So there's always that element of uncertainty, if you want to put it that way, and that's why I do what I'm doing right now. It's validating it from desktop, right? There's only so much what the research platforms, what Google Maps would ultimately tell you. The last piece to the puzzle is then ultimately going out, right, and understanding the caliber of the property. And often when it comes to a 3 to 4 bedroom conversion, we've got to make sure that the space feels right, that the space that we're left within the house is still fit for 2 adults and 2 kids, which are ultimately going to grow into teenagers or young adults. So unfortunately, that's something that Google Maps or the floor plans or the video walkthroughs are simply not going to tell you. And that's why I absolutely need to be out there physically walking through the property to ensure that the sense of space, that 3D element, is actually still going to work for that family moving into that 4-bedroom and 2-bath house. This project of itself is a simple project. It's a pretty obvious change of what we're trying to do. There's no secret sauce to this particular floor plan. The trained eye should be able to spot the change that we're about to do. So for me, it's really just validating that spatial field at the moment, whether or not this change that we're about to do, i.e. adding that additional wall, will ensure that this space that we're then left with is ultimately still going to give that homely home, that large size home for a 4-bed and a 2-bedroom.